It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports, and we've got some history in this battle of AFL alumni. It's the Miami Dolphins and the Kansas City Chiefs under the lights on Monday night.
The usual sea of red here in this spectacular venue has been turned white as we are high above snowy GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in KC. Today we've got the crew set for what should be a real treat, a great Monday night matchup, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome again, one and all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon Gaudin on hand alongside Charles Davis. And yes, the storyline here, the weather. Snow and more of it expected as this game continues. So how will that impact how this one goes?
Can these teams ignore the distraction and the strangeness of playing in a snow game? Because it actually affects the crowd as well. That big roar you get is often muffled when there's a snow game. And the second part, what's the footwear you got on? Does that fit the turf you're playing on? And how will it handle as things get a little bit slick?
Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Arrowhead. Here comes Jalen Waddle from his end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Dolphins take the field with Tua Tagovailoa, their quarterback from Alabama, at the helm.
You want to talk about a driven player, partner. This guy is absolutely that person. He doesn't just have goals in this game. He wants to be remembered among the best to play the position, and he treats every game as an audition for that. It's a lofty goal to set for yourself, but we've seen his drive lead to some impressive games from him. Perhaps another one is in store today.
Here's Achane to start the drive. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Right back to Achane on second down. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll try and run here with Mostert. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out, how vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Achane here, they stay on the ground. And he'll have a Dolphins first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. Rolling to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
On second down, a run by Achane. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
Holding offense.
So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
Running right, here's Achane. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Good work on the scamper by Tagovailoa. It's a first down.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
Now Achane on 1st and 10. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Tua wants to throw it on second down. Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area. But they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Chris Jones in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. We've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact, but that time they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
Time to see what Patrick Mahomes can do here with his first possession. The quarterback out of Texas Tech getting set to lead this KC Chiefs offense.
And simply put, for many, he's the gold standard for quarterbacks in today's NFL because of his ability to create, find the open man, use all the different arm angles that he has. He's a complete package, and boy, his team loves to play around him.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 22. Here's Pacheco to begin the drive. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Give him 2 yards on the gain there, and it will take us to the end of quarter number 1. We're scoreless after 1. The second quarter from KC. It's the Chiefs in possession of the football as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Here's Pacheco once again. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
2nd and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. That's complete. It's Travis Kelce.
It's not quibble about the game there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3. On play action, it's Mahomes. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. So Miami coming out for their second drive. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. He'll get this into the hands of Mostert. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Short throw to Smith. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. They'll let this go deep for Waddle. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, they moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to get amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. Here's Hardman to return. That'll go as a 39-yard punt, give him 9 on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. They've been playing the field position game thus far. No score, 2nd quarter as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start the drive here with Pacheco. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
From the 41, here's 2nd down and 8. Now here's Mahomes. It's complete to Hopkins. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. They'll try for the first with Pacheco. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a 1st down.
On 4th down, Matt Ariza sent on to punt. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. We sort of suspected that the elements might wreak havoc on both of these offenses, and that's been the case. No points on either side as this drive begins with a first down. And right around the 20, he'll head out of bounds. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. That'll give him 8 that time, and they'll be left with second and a couple. Now Tua. And they'll get this on the screen to Mostert. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
On first down, Tagovailoa. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, congratulations to them. They come through defensively with another stop. And let's face it, this secondary, they've gone unchallenged so far in the first half.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
How about the show put up by these two defenses in this first half? The fireworks don't have to be just offensively. Neither one of them give it an inch, and that's good coverage once again there to force another 4th down.
On is Jake Bailey to send this one away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
Mahomes now on first down. Open man here. It's the tight end, Kelsey. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. From midfield, here's Mahomes. This one complete. It's Rashee Rice. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's 2nd and 3. Now it's Mahomes again. toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
Steps away to his left. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll give him a new set of downs. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. Butker's kick here is good. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. And a decent 27-yard line. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our... All right, so we skip the rest of halftime and get set for the third quarter. Yep. Inside the booth alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Not much has changed since we left you at halftime. The snow still continuing to fall as we are back underway. And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. The Chiefs ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And some room to work. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 42 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco, 47 yards. And the Chiefs come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic.
to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And the lead grows to 10-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a two-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realize what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a three-possession game.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
His struggles finding open receivers continue. I don't know the last time I saw him this inconsistent throwing the football.
It would be hard to find a date when he was this inconsistent. You know, in his locker, he keeps the word poise printed on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. He needs to find that poise right now.
He certainly does. In fact, I would suggest he laminated.
And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now fourth down.
That looked great when he first took off, because in my mind, there was room to run, and he had the marker in his sight. Expect them to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his fourth down call.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. A good return there, 17 yards. And they will take over first and 10. You don't see that too often, Charles. He punted that away and then hustled up to make the stop as well.
Yeah, because oftentimes they serve as their own safety after punting it. You want to be the last guy, but he decided to get involved in the action, didn't he? And what a spark that's got to provide for the rest of his team when they see their punter out there making a nice hit.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. So now first and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory as they're down to the 29-yard line. They go play fake. Mahomes. Wide open receiver, complete. Touchdown. A great play there. 29 yards. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So this, Charles, a tight game through the first 2 quarters, but they've come out in this second half and really took the fight to them.
And you and I both know that in the locker room at halftime, both sides' head coaches emphasize the first 5 minutes of the second half, getting out and establishing yourselves. One team has definitely done that.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Two and now on first down. He's got Smith here. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. Play action. Now it's Tua. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Tua sets up to pass it. He'll swing this out to Mostert. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. Looking to pass. Tua. Hill diving, and he's got it full extension. What a catch. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Here's Tua. Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Running left, Achane. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We're back now in KC. It's Dolphin football, but they trail here as we get set for the 4th. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Tua going to throw. And he's got it. That's good for a gain of 6. 2nd and goal.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and goal at the 3-yard line.
Back to throw here. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Durham Smythe from 3 yards out. And the Dolphins are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they can afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
That's good for a Kansas City Chiefs. First down.
Mahomes now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 109 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. On first down, they go back to Pacheco. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
Mahomes takes it himself. And he is going to have the Chiefs first down as he pushes forward for a couple on 4th and inches. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. On the ground, it's Gray. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Noah Gray taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game. Extra point by Butker is on target. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured.
There he goes, left side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 76 yards. And the Dolphins have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. So down a couple scores, only 1 timeout left. You figure they have to get this one. And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. And a loose football. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that the team's expecting an onside kick. 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Again from the 15, 2nd and 10. Here's Tua. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And he is going to loop here. Tua. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Sanders now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. So with just under 40 seconds to go, you figure this is going to need to bounce their way if they have any shot. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them. And field position leads you to that type of play calling, whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep. Those types of things, now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. And he will have a Chiefs first down. And that's the one that should seal the victory. They'll run Pacheco. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the first and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is, I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Well, not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time, and going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a miss hit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position for your defense.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Another try, 2nd and 10 now. One final try for Tagovailoa. This is caught by Waddle, and he is out of bounds inside the 35. Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gault. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Chiefs victorious here as we say so long from Kansas City.